first I was wondering why there's so many people out here. I was like, oh yeah, it's Labor Day. Although nowadays, doesn't every day feel like it's technically like a holiday or weekend for a lot of people, since businesses are still closed down for a lot of industries. The summer is actually almost all over too, can you believe that? I guess during these times, forest fires are a thing usually, and it's kind of interesting reading all these articles. It relates to how in the US, they want to basically ban things like Chinese-made drones for government-related work. And how about if it becomes like a security hazard according to this, like in some ways? Like for example, this one says, ban on Chinese drone complicates federal firefighting efforts, leaked memo says. Or this one says, a risk to firefighters, Trump's drone ban makes it harder to stop wildfires. It's kind of fascinating because it almost makes it sound like everyone's already dependent like on this tech, as if it's your internet connection, like for your house. I would think it's not developed enough yet, is it? Like so many rules and regulations that stop people from using it in general. But here, basically it says, Trump ban on Chinese drone parts risks worsening wildfires. Only a quarter of possible controlled burning has been carried out because of order. The US Interior Department's decision not to buy more drones with Chinese parts has made it more difficult to fight wildfires, according to an internal departmental memo, which lays bare one cost of Trump's administration's crackdown on Chinese technology. The memo, which was written by the department's Office of Aviation Services earlier this year, found that by the end of the year, the department will have carried out only a quarter of the controlled burning it might otherwise have done had it gone ahead with planned drone purchases. The US is experiencing one of its worst years for wildfire outbreaks thanks to hot weather and a lack of firefighters. And while none of those appear to have happened on federal land, government insiders warn that the de facto ban on buying drones with Chinese components risks making the situation worse. The internal memo, which was written earlier this summer and has been seen by the Financial Times, warned, quote, the department's current fleet must expand to meet the demand of preventative measures mandated for the reduction of wildfire via vegetation reduction. It found that by the end of the year, the department will only have carried out 28% of the controlled burning it could have done had it purchased 17 new drone-based firefighting systems as planned. So that's kind of interesting, because again, the main thing that made me wonder is, are these departments already fully, I guess, equipped and trained to use all this as a standard operation, like replacing large helicopters and all that? Or is everything political? It makes me wonder too, with all those new drones, like those ones where they specifically didn't want any, I guess, Chinese components or whatever. Like for example, the Skydios and the Anafi USAs, like the ones designed specifically, I guess, for things like military use. Couldn't they use that as well? I'm just thinking. Because I know even companies like Autel, even though it's technically Chinese owned, like for their new enterprise one, they basically advertised before where they're now making like everything within the US, or possibly. Because to my understanding too, even with things like that, Parrot and Afi USA, it's not 100% USA. There's some basic components from China, but all the main stuff they said, like the important security risk items, are all made like from elsewhere. So I would imagine that would be the criteria into using it for things like this. But yeah, so much politics about this stuff, huh? And with that thought again on how it was interesting if they actually did fully adapt to just using drones instead, it makes me think, are people going to adapt to this? For apparently like with things like face masks, like how so many places they're demanding that people must wear them and all that. How about this one like I read before? This one says, LG revolutionizes personal clean air with Puricare, Wearable Air Purifier. So you can see it's literally like, I guess, one of their air purifiers, but they made like in a mask form. It actually reminds me of someone wearing, like, say, I don't know, full VR headgear. Add this on, and this is basically the future of smell-o-vision, people usually say. So it makes me wonder, are people going to fully, I guess, adopt and adapt to things like this if this becomes like the new norm, so to speak? What was that, a sneeze? Alright, see you guys later.